Good morning, everyone. This is Lydia Ford. I help people who are stuck in grief to get unstuck. Welcome to Early Morning Tea. You have your tea ready? I have mine in a thermal cup today because I want it to stay hot while I am talking. So let me take a sip of tea, my first sip of tea with you, I hope. If you haven't already, please tag someone and invite them to the segment, to the program, to the show, whatever you want to call it this morning, because we're going to be talking about a very important topic, something that touches everyone who has been charged or signed the chore, I won't call it a chore, the job, the task of caring for an elderly parent, child, um, sister, brother, friend, um, and I don't know about you, but caregiving can be overwhelming. Caring for a parent, a grandparent, somebody that's homebound, sick, with Alzheimer's or dementia. And it's particularly hard during the holiday season. And a lot of times we focus on the person that is disabled or handicapped, or maybe in hospice care, or people that are and even young people that are infirmed, can't walk, can't see, can't talk. We focus on the patient and we don't always see, good morning, Connie, we don't always see that the caregiver is about to lose their mind. We don't often notice that the caregiver is on their last leg or they just holding on for dear life. So, in this segment today, I want to focus on how we can assist caregivers that are overwhelmed with caring for a parent, a grandparent, a brother, a sister, uncle, auntie, whatever, especially during the holiday season, this Christmas holiday, because we just passed Thanksgiving and some of the caregivers are just like worn out just from Thanksgiving. So in my search for information, this is what I came up with, and I do have some um, sources that I will put in the chat. I'll put in the comments after I'm done today. So caregiving, and if you haven't invited anybody, this is the time to invite someone on this morning as we talk about how can we assist the caregiver, the giver of the care. And the thing that I have learned since I've been down here in North Carolina, as I am also a caregiver to a 92-year-old mother, I want to just say this, that some caregivers, well, let me just say this, people are living a longer time. You have people that are living into their hundreds now. You have people living into their 90s, into their 80s. And when you have parents or grandparents that are living that long, you yourself, if you're somebody's child or grandchild, you find yourself that you are not as young as you used to be because you yourself are a senior citizen. Okay, I became a senior citizen, let's see, 7 years ago. I'm 71. Okay, they say we're seniors, super senior citizens at 65. I remember getting my AARP card, Connie, when I was 50. And I didn't think I was old at 50. I kind of felt a little insulted that I was getting an AARP card at 50. But the point is that you have seniors in their late 50s and 60s. And I'll even go as far as 70 because I'm 70. Okay. And I didn't become a caregiver until I turned uh, 69. Okay. Um, We're senior citizens also, and along with being senior citizens, charged with taking care of elderly parents and grandparents that are late 80s and 90s and some 100. We are struggling ourselves because many times those of us in our 50s and 60s and 70s have had knee replacements, okay, have had hip replacements, have had, to deal with diabetes, in high blood pressure, high cholesterol, other types of chronic illnesses. So we ain't no, spring chickens, but yet we are tasked with a job of being a caregiver. And so I just want to preface my comments, my statements, by putting that up front. It's difficult when you're also a senior citizen and you have to take care of a super senior citizen. And we need a lot of strength. We definitely need God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit to help us, to encourage us, to lean on and to trust that, you know what, we're doing a good thing and we're supposed to take care of those that we love. And God talks about taking care of those that we love. God talks about family. He loves family. Why? Because he created the first family. And so families are important to him, and families are certainly our first ministry. And God looks at us and he cares about how we are taking care of our families, and about the attitude behind how we're taking care of our family members as well. So let me get to it. Caregivers are often under a lot of stress, especially during the holidays. They may feel overwhelmed, isolated, or resentful of their caregiving responsibilities. Yes, I did. Sometimes you feel resentful because you're so overwhelmed and you're not getting the aid, the assistance, and the help that sometimes the insurance companies, Medicare, Medicaid, can provide for your loved one. It might not be enough. And because it's not enough assistance, then we can get worn out real quick. There are some ways to help or assist a caregiver that is overwhelmed with caring for a parent, grandparent, or homebound sick one during the Christmas holiday. And here are some suggestions. The first one is, and this is one that I espouse to when people lose loved ones during the holidays or anytime really. This is a bone of my contention, so to speak. Offer practical help. Even when you lose a loved one, people need practical, everyday stuff to be done to assist them. Okay? Not pie in the sky stuff. Practical help. Here's some practical help. You can offer to run errands. You do grocery shopping. I'm not talking to the caregivers. I'm talking to those who know caregivers, okay? Those out there in cyberland that you know who are caregivers. And when you say, oh, let's go so and so. Oh, I can't go tonight because I have to go, I got to go feed my mother. I got to go, take my father to the doctor. I have to go. I'm talking to those out there who have friends and family that are caregivers. I'm talking to the siblings. I'm looking straight in the camera. I'm talking to the siblings. I'm talking to the children. I'm talking to cousin Bookie and Pookie and sister Watermelon, all of that your sister, your brother, your auntie, you know people who are caregivers that need your help. Those are the ones I'm talking to today. I ain't talking to the caregivers because we just like, duh, like a deer in headlights some days. But I'm talking to those that know your friend is struggling and can use some help. So we're talking about practical help. Offer to run errands, do grocery shopping, cook meals, clean the house, provide respite care for the caregiver's loved one. This can give the caregiver some time to rest, relax, or enjoy other activities. You can also help with holiday preparations, such as decorating, wrapping gifts, or sending cards. I'm gonna stop right there because I don't understand that people can have at least one other brother or sister, two or three sisters, two or three brothers, a family of four, a family of six, a family of eight, a family of 10, whatever. And only the oldest gets stuck with the caregiving, or the youngest one gets stuck with the caregiving, or the only one that's closest to the one that's, being cared for is the caregiving. That ain't right. That ain't right. And then when your brother or your sister or your son or your call you up, you're calling up your family members to ask them to come and assist you. Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't this weekend because I got to go to my high school reunion. I got to go take Billy to college. Listen, I'm talking that these are the ones I'm talking to. Okay, that your kinfolk is about to wear out. And then what's going to happen to mama? What's going to happen to daddy? What's going to happen to bruh man? So I want to use a silly, whatever. I don't want to be silly because this is serious. Let me go on. Be supportive and empathetic to those that have the responsibility of caring for a loved one. You can listen to the caregiver's feelings and concerns, and you can validate their emotions. You can also express your appreciation and gratitude for their hard work and their dedication. You can send them a thoughtful card, a gift basket, or a spa certificate to show how much you care. You can also invite them to join you for a holiday celebration or arrange a video chat if they can't attend in person. There are a lot of things, a lot of ways other people can assist us, because I'm going to say us, because I'm one of them. I'm one of them. And I'm not going to leave the church out. Okay, let me take a sip now. You know somebody on the usher board. You know somebody that's a missionary. You know somebody that's a deaconess. You know somebody that's a first lady. Okay. You know somebody that sings in the choir, who has their hands and their arms and everything full because they're a caregiver to a mother, a father, a grandmother, whatever. You know how they're struggling. So I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the church. I ain't talking to the building. I'm talking to the members, or whatever they call members nowadays. Yes, I'm talking to you. There are ways you can help and assist your friend, your family member, your church pew member. Okay, they need help, y'all. Encourage. Here's another one. Encourage self-care. Now, this is for us, Connie. This is for us. Encourage self-care. You can remind the caregiver to take care of their own physical and mental health. Because if you don't do it, ain't nobody going to help you. I'm just plain truth. Okay. You can suggest some ways to reduce stress, such as meditation, yoga, exercise, or hobbies. You can also encourage them to seek professional help if they're feeling depressed, anxious, or just plain old burnt out. Okay? I'm one self-care. Caregivers, now I'm talking to you. You got to take care of yourself, your whole self. This is not like the hokey pokey. You put your right arm in, you take your right arm out. You put your left arm in, no, you put your ear in, no, you put your whole self in, because your whole self needs to be taken care of. It's not like you can separate an arm and a leg and an ankle and a foot. No, you got to take care of your whole self. And whatever that means to you, because I'm just gave you some suggestions. You can go get your nails done. Go have a mani pedi. Go get a massage. Go, oh my God, what else did I say? Meditate. Few weeks ago at my church, we had a health fair, and young ladies came there and introduced us to chair yoga. Okay, not what you think, chair yoga, and that was refreshing. That's something that you can be comfortable in sitting in a chair, but don't think that you're not going to be using your muscles, because after Connie, after that chair yoga, the next day I'm like, wait a minute, my arm hurt, my shoulder hurt, what happened here? But it's good to move and it's good to stretch. All right. Chair yoga, hobby, take up a hobby. Good morning, Jean. Take up a hobby. And then if you really become depressed, if you really become anxious and nervous, because sometimes what those that we are taking care of, they have chronic conditions. Some might be in a hospice situation. Some are on have tubes running through their bodies, and sometimes they have machines that go, they may go off or they may make funny sounds, and if you're in the same house or apartment with them and you hear it ringing and you hear it buzzing, sometimes it's hard for you to sleep because you up and down all night checking on them to make sure they're still alive. Oh, come on, y'all. I'm gonna take a sip because y'all, okay, I'm gonna tell it straight, give it to you straight with no chaser. You can't sleep a lot of times when you have people in the house that are sick and they're on medication or they're on machines. Okay, you got to get up at night to make sure they're still in the land of the living. That can cause you to become anxious. That can cause you to suffer from sleep apnea or sleep deprivation. And you can become depressed because what? Nobody helping you. You the only one that's helping. Everybody else is just like, hasta la vista. They somewhere else. And so if you need to seek personal help, professional help, you need to do that. Okay, you need to do that. You can also assist family caregivers by offering to run. I said run errands, right? I said do chores, cook meals. Okay, I said all of that. Here's another one. When you're a caregiver, you have to adjust your expectations. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's the F word, and the F word is flexible. Oh my God. Since I've been down here, I've had to adjust my expectations. In the beginning, when I moved down here in 21, I had to curtail my activities. I did not have the plethora of activities I had when I was back in Connecticut, because I was pastoring back in Connecticut and I was doing other things. I was, I had my grandchildren, I had friends, I had I had a whole house to take care of. But when I sold my house and moved down here and moved into a townhouse, my activities were curtailed, way back. All right. Because the assignment that I had, taking care of my mother had to be put on a higher pedestal, a higher level than even my ministry duties. So I have learned that I have to pace myself. I have to be flexible. I had to adjust my expectations and understanding of the caregiver's situation and limitation. Now, let me just say it like this. Let me say it as I have it on the paper. Because see, I'm talking from a caregiver. I'm a caregiver, but we're also talking from the point of view about ways that you can help us. So I had adjust my expectations. You can be flexible in understanding of the caregiver situation and limitations. Talk about other folks. You got to understand our situation. You got to understand that we are limited. When I came down here, I was still in therapy for my hip surgery that I had a year before I moved down here. So my caregiving was a little bit limited because I still had to go to therapy. All right. You can respect our choices and preferences and avoid judging or criticizing us. Oh, y'all, come on. Come on. Respect our choices, respect our preferences, and avoid judging and criticizing us. That's what the outside people that look at us and they see us, yeah, because sometimes they judge us And sometimes they get offended because we can't run with them like we used to run with them or go and do things with them that we used to do. You got to give us some slack because we don't have that flexibility and we don't have that time. You can also adapt your holiday traditions, watch this, and activities to suit their needs and abilities. I said, you families, churches, even have and jobs adjust holiday traditions and activities to suit the needs of the caregiver. All right. You can focus on the meaning and joy of the holidays rather than perfection. Oh my God. And oh my God, that right there. Focus on the meaning and the joy of the holidays rather than perfection and pressure. Listen, it doesn't matter that Judy is the best cook in the family, because if Judy is the best cook in the family and you got Judy cooking Thanksgiving and Christmas meal, listen, you might not get the full course meal that you normally traditionally get because Judy is broke down, busted, and disgusted, jacked up, messed up, tore up from the floor. You might not get that 5-course meal this year because you don't put all of this caregiving on Judy. Oh, y'all don't like me now. Good morning, Reverend Cynthia. You got to relax your expectation so you don't put all that pressure on the caregiver this year. You may have done it last year, but I'm talking good to you right now. And I'm saying it in love because I'm saying it from two perspectives, both perspectives. You know how I know? Because I was in Connecticut and my sister and my mother at one time were in South Kakalaki. So my sister was the caregiver. And when my mom moved with my brother to Houston, then his family became the caregiver. I was still in Connecticut because Houston was a long way. Okay. And I didn't travel to, Houston. I didn't always come to South Carolina on the holidays. So the burden was on my brother or my sister, whichever, city, town, state my mama was in. So we have to relax. Y'all have to relax the pressure and the perfection that you expect to just come and sit down and cross your legs and pull up at the table after Judy and Susie and Shaquita them, tried their best to put on a good face and cook a traditional dinner. Are y'all understand? You're at the, okay, God bless you. The winter holiday season can be stressful at the best times. Okay, now I want to talk to you a little bit. Wait a minute, did I finish that? You can respect their choices and preference and avoid judging or criticizing. You can also adapt your holiday traditions and activities to suit their needs and abilities. Go out to dinner. Don't put that pressure on Judy or Juanita or Susie. Go out for dinner this year. Adjust the tradition. Have a seafood or have whatever. Make a little simpler. Put the focus on family. Put the focus back on love. Put the focus back on, I'm going to give my sister a break this year. I'm going to give my mom a break this year. I'm going to give my daughter a break whatever. Now I want to talk about some tips for those of us who are caring for loved ones with dementia and Alzheimer's. The winter holiday season can be stressful at the best. For people with dementia and Alzheimer's, holidays can be especially overwhelming. With COVID-19, when COVID-19, I should say, was a serious issue, caregivers needed to pay special attention to holiday planning to cater to the unique needs of those with dementia while minimizing the risk of infection. And let me help you. There aren't as millions of people dying from COVID like there were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But guess what? COVID is still here. Okay, that RSVP, this other type of respiratory illness is still here. And if you have family members that are elderly and susceptible to these viruses, you still have to be careful how you plan the holidays. You still have to be careful about how many people you bring around your loved ones with dementia and Alzheimer's. You still have to, even with the flu kills thousands of people, maybe millions every year. Okay. So you still have COVID, and you have these outshoots of COVID as well. I forgot what they call them, but it's still here. So here are 7 tips that will help you and your loved ones experience the peace and joy of the season while enjoying a safe, memorable time, no matter what occasion you celebrate. Here's tip number 1. Plan Plan your holiday events with this goal in mind. Prioritize health and safety of vulnerable loved ones so they are not exposed to any type of sickness or airborne viruses. All right. Follow local public health. And that's in the airport too, and on the airplanes. I know people have taken off the mask, but you have to be careful. All right. Follow local public health department advisories and guidelines on where and when gatherings can take place and how many people can take part. Remember to maintain, this was back when COVID was raging, we had to maintain 6 feet, which is 2 meters between you and anyone who is not a member of your household. If you feel unwell, be cautious and decline to host. Hello. If you don't feel good, decline to host the party. Decline to host the traditional holiday dinner. It may just be a cold or low energy, but viruses like COVID, all right, less like RSVP, not respiratory illness, virus spread easily. The flu spreads easily, and those with dementia can easily be susceptible. Here's number 2, simple and safe. Keep celebrations small, all right? Even this year, for Thanksgiving, it was just me, myself, and my mom. My brother was in Orlando with his family. Keep celebrations small. An intimate gathering of your household or immediate family may lack the bells and the whistles of past holidays, but it can still be enjoyable. And if you decide to, have a big one this year, just check with those that are coming. Those that are coming out of town, those that are coming by railway, by airway, check with them and tell them, if you're sick, do not come. Okay? Don't come. All right? So keep it simple. Make a reduced version of a holiday tradition or a holiday meal, or ask visitors to bring their own food. Bring a dish. All right? Bring snacks and finger food instead of a sit-down dinner. Okay? Because that might be a better choice for those that have dementia. A lot of times they lost their appetite and they lost their sense of taste. So all of that food in front of them, they're not going to be able to participate in. All right. Suggest a ready to eat appetizer theme to keep things manageable and to avoid kitchen crowding. Consider celebrating earlier in the day. This is a big one for me. Whenever I prepared holiday meals, whether it's for Thanksgiving, whether it's for Christmas, whether it's New Year's, I don't know about y'all, but Connie, we eat early in the day, generally between 2:30 and 3 o'clock. And when I tell my family, be here between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, that's exactly what I mean. Because if you come after 3, I might give you 15 minutes like they did in college, right? Your professor gave you 15 minutes. So if I say 3 o'clock, I'm going to give you to 3:15. But 3:30, we eating. After that, we eating. I like to eat early, allow my food to digest, because I can't just eat and then eat dessert. All right. And I always make dessert. So we eat early, and then we let our food digest. We sit around and we chit chat. The men may watch football or whatever. And then maybe by 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, they might, 4:30, 5 o'clock, they might want to eat some dessert. But by 5 o'clock, 5:30, everybody out. Time for y'all to roll. Bye. All right, it's time for y'all to go. I don't know about y'all, but I don't expect my guests to be sitting around 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Because I'm tired by then. And older people, elderly people, sick people, they don't close their eyes. Listen, a long time ago, they are out. They don't even see you. They don't even know you're still there. All right. Consider celebrating early in the day. Some people with Alzheimer's experience confusion in the evening due to, and I think it's you, Cynthia, that told me this word, sundowning. Due to sundowning. All right. They experience confusion later in the day due to sundowning. You might want to tell us on, what that is exactly, Cynthia. Help us out here. Conversations can be challenging for someone with dementia. Try using short, simple sentences. Avoid complicated words and try not to repeat things multiple times. I got to take a sip on that one. 85% my mom is all with it. That 15%, if you repeat something more than 2 times, I'm going to say 2. It does not go well. She does not. I don't know about other people, but they do not like repetition. Connie, you said sundowners is real. Okay, yeah. And that's what my friend Cynthia on here says also. All right, conversations, keep them simple. Do not repeat. They do not want you repeating anything multiple times. And don't forget the outdoors. Fresh air is always welcome, and not all festivities need to be inside. Take your loved one on a walk to look at outdoor decorations or an evening drive to see the Christmas lights. My mother loves Christmas lights. Hold a get together outside with hot, non alcoholic drinks. Hot, non alcohol, like cocoa, all right, a hot cider. Take your blankets. And, if somebody has a cold or whatever, this came from because, when I got this from the internet, COVID was still raging. So, it talks about socially distancing. Okay. Make the setting comfortable while using the temperature and even time of day to help limit the event's length. Look at the temperature, look ahead at the temperature so you know what the temperature is going to be on Christmas Day or New Year's Eve, all right? And that will help you to regulate, the time in which you want to spend outdoors. Here's another one. Cook all or part of your holiday meal outdoors on a barbecue to enhance social distancing and simplify after meal cook up. Some of us still need to do this. These are ideas that will help prevent the spread of illness, the spread of virus, the spread, and you know what? And it's still important to cough in your armpit, right? Sneeze, you put a tissue over your nose or sneeze in your arm. Don't just sneeze and all your germs just go all over the place. We still have to practice health protocols. All right. This part is talking about all is calm. The right atmosphere and setting helps those with dementia better cope with the holidays. This is what we're talking about. Everyone loves holiday lights, but watch this. We're talking about calm. You don't want to gaslight anybody. You don't want to make people anxious, and you don't want their anxiety to rise. So we like holiday lights. I know I do, but skip those that flash or pulse. They startle and disturb people with dementia. Skip the ones that flash and pulse because they scare people with dementia. Use battery operated or electric Hanukkah and Christmas candles to avoid fire hazards. The electric ones work just as well because you don't want to be having candles lit all over your house. Okay, to avoid fire hazards. Music is a big part of holidays, and people living with dementia often have a very positive response to hearing familiar tunes. Remember, however, to keep the volume low so that it doesn't agitate a loved one with dementia. Just like we need to keep our tone, our voice low so it does not aggravate, all right, or agitate a loved one with dementia. Holiday bustle often fills commonly used rooms with lights, sounds, and decorations that may agitate or confuse people with dementia and lead to wandering behavior. Make sure those family members can retreat to a quiet, calm space. I'm going to say that again. Holiday bustle often, and this can happen at churches, at halls, places where they celebrate, even at nursing homes, other places where they, have candles. They have not candles, but they have Christmas trees. They have lights. They may have music playing. But be careful with that, all right? Because all that activity can make those family members with dementia retreat, try go looking for a quiet place. They go looking for a quiet place. And when they go looking for a quiet place, they can wander, okay, outside, wander in other sections or places, and then they can't find their way back to where the main activity is. So be careful. Your mom likes, yeah, my mother loves Christmas. She loves everything about Christmas. Here's number 5, festive fun. Include your loved one in holiday traditions to keep them positive and engaged. Discuss favorite dishes as they watch you prepare food and bake family favorites. Those with dementia may have wonderful recall and add to conversations about past holidays. It's amazing how, oh, I think my grandmother was 99 when she passed, and she did not have dementia. She had long-term memory, but her short-term memory was terrible. She could remember way back when she was a little girl, and even when she was a young woman. Because my grandmother was Miss Hospitality. That was her gift. That's my mom's gift too. Hospitality. She loved putting on tea parties. She loved dinner. She loved entertaining, and she loved cooking. My father's mom and my mom and her mother, they love family. My mom's had big family. She had 2 uncles with 15 kids, and her mom had 7 kids. So that's a lot of kids. So they love cooking. And my mother loves cooking. She still loves cooking. She doesn't cook as much as she used to cook, but she can tell you how to cook. Okay. She can tell you what not to use. So they like to be in the kitchen. They like to do what they still can do. My mom made the cornbread stuffing for the turkey. I don't make cornbread stuffing. I go get, I know how to make it from the bag, or I get stovetop stuffing. I dress it up. I can hook it up. I can get the ones with the breadcrumbs or the whatever, and I know how to fix it, and it's good. But she makes cornbread stuffing, and it's really good. So she made that, and she made some sweet potato bread. So let them do what they can do, and let me help y'all, because Christmas is about what? Less than a month now. My mother, Connie, is gonna make her rum balls. She gonna make her sugar cookies, or the little sugar ones, the little small sugar. I forgot what she calls them. And then she makes this chocolate thing called crunchy chewies, and she'll make chocolate chip cookies. I'm trying to tell you, the best cookies ever. She would send those cookies up to Connecticut. She would send those cookies to South Carolina. She send them to her grandchildren. She send them to Houston in boxes. When my brother lived in Chicago, she sent him some to Chicago, and the mailman left them on the porch, and the squirrels got into them. He was mad. He was mad. The squirrels got into his Christmas cookies from my mom. She loves, to this day, she will probably be making cookies with her great granddaughter Brennan, because Brennan loves to make cookies with her Mima. Yes. And no, I have not, cookies not my thing, but there is one, that crunchy chewy. It's chocolate. It's got nuts in it. It's so moist. It's so good. In the rum balls. She showed me how to make it, but I don't have the patience to stay there. But you know what? I think this year I'm going to have to suck it up, and I need to learn how to make those holiday cookies to carry on that tradition. Okay. Here's another one. Let me help you with the final touches like decorating cookies and filling stockings. She loves doing that. My mother, oh my God, the other day I took her to the dollar store because she wanted to get some cards and she wanted to pick up a couple of things. I don't know if anybody has a mother like my mother. My mother bought cards for everybody. That's what she does. She'll buy cards for her kids. There's three of us. She'll buy cards. She got four grandchildren now. She'll buy cards for all her grandchildren and the ones that have husbands or wives. She'll get it for, she'll say grandson, and wife or granddaughter and husband, whatever. So she'll buy cards for all her kids. She'll buy cards for all her grandkids. And she'll buy cards for her eight. Well, she don't need to get one for Zaire or Asa because Asa's one and Zai is just 4 months. So they won't get a card. But for the other six grandkids, everybody get them great grandkids. Everybody get a card. And then some of her friends get cards. So what am I saying? Whatever. And sometimes it takes a toll on us because, we have to be patient, then we have to do the looking. We have to be their eyes for them because we have to look for grandson and wife. We got to look for son and wife or, sister or whatever. But that's what she does. And tradition, as much tradition as we can help them enjoy, that's what we got to do. All right. That's what we got to do. Here's another one. An advent calendar can also provide simple pleasure and help keep track of the days leading up to Christmas. Get them a calendar. Mark off the days. How many days to Christmas? Okay, start with December. Find a calendar and just, help them. Okay, Mom, today's December 1st. All right. After December 1st, the cross out, just keep crossing out and say, oh, Mom, there's 24 days to Christmas. Oh, Mom, there's 23 days more to Christmas. Mom, there's 10 days to Christmas. Mom, 5 more days. And Mom, it's going to be Christmas. They love stuff like that. They need to keep track of the time. Connie, you said get her recipes. Oh, get her recipes. My mother was the best cook and I did not get. Yes, I got the recipes, Connie. I do. Yep, she took the time a long time ago to put these recipes in a book for us, and I do have the recipes. I do have them. Holiday hellos. Traditional and digital communications provide plenty of ways to stay in touch. There is no excuse for not being in touch. You got Facebook, you got FaceTime, you got Meetup, you got email, you got text, there's no excuse. Sending holiday cards through email, through text. There's no excuse. They can see your face. I remember when my mom turned 90 years old and she had just moved down here. Her birthday is January the 11th. So it'll be 3 years now because my mom will be 93 and January 11th. So we gave her a birthday party. It was on Zoom. She loved it. The grandkids, the great grandkids, the sisters, as many people as we could get on were there for her birthday party. Here's something else about staying in touch. Holiday hellos. Offer to write a newsletter or card greeting for your loved one, and they can add their signature or a festive sticker. Zoom calls are a great way to connect with relatives and friends. Be imaginative. Use them for sing-alongs, to show off holiday decor, or share old photos, and just to start great conversations. If you do use a video call, remember that simultaneous conversations or cross-talking, everybody talking at the same time, we do that, us intelligent people, everybody trying to talk at the same time can be overstimulation and too confusing. So keep that down. All right. Keep that down. Because it can be challenging for people with Alzheimer's. Email also offers lots of messaging opportunities. You can include video clips and photographs of your loved one from throughout the year. You can do that throughout the year, or of them helping you prepare for this special season. I remember I made a video of, it was me and my mom, and she was baking cookies. I actually videotaped it. We were baking cookies, her crunchy, chewy chocolate cookies. And I was videotaping her so I can remember how to do it. I think I lost the videotape, but I think I'm gonna videotape it again this year. I'm gonna do it on my phone and make sure that I save it this time. These are just some tips on how to stay in touch. All right. And these last ideas are particularly for people who have dementia and Alzheimer's. Now we're going on to caregiver stress. All right. And I'm going back to the caregiver. I'm going back to me and maybe some of you. Caregiver stress is real. Don't forget to make time again for self-care. Give yourself permission to do less. Ooh, I thought I gave myself permission to do less this Thanksgiving, but I didn't feel like it at the end. At the end of Thanksgiving, I didn't feel like I did less because I was really tired. I was really tired. But give yourself permission to do less. Don't worry if you didn't send holiday cards or your holiday decorations can't compete with your neighbors. Let's get out of competition. Caregivers, you can look to the left, to the right, across the street, listen, do yourself a favor. Don't try to compete. Don't even try to compete with your sister, your BFF or whatever. Just stay in your lane. Do as much as or as less as you can to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Celebrate the time, the season. Oh God, Christmas is about Christ. Take the MAS off the end. Christ. Well, if you want to add the MAS, some people have called it Christ in the masses or Christ with the masses. Think about the reason for the season. Jesus is the reason for the season. If you think more about who we celebrate than trying to compete and keep up with the Joneses and be the best caregiver so people don't judge or criticize you, if you think about why he came, you would take a whole lot of stress off yourself. All right? Don't worry if you didn't send the cards. Your holiday decorations don't measure up to other people. Practice gratitude. Oh, God, I think we had a message. You guys, CLF, Covenant Life Fellowship, had a message last week. And have an attitude of gratitude. Focus on what you do have. Don't focus on what you don't have. Like the ornaments, like your children. All right? The children that made ornaments for you last year, or they made cookies with you, or your neighbor dropped off some cookies or some punch, or, so that you wouldn't have to worry about holiday bacon. All right? Don't worry about what you don't have, what you're lacking. Think about, appreciate, have an attitude of gratitude for what you do have, and carve out moments. Ooh, you have to carve out moments for yourself. I know after the holiday, I went and I got my hands were in so much water. They looked terrible. I had to peel one of my nails off because it was halfway coming off anyway. So after the holidays, I had to I took care of my nail. I went and I got my nails done. All right. And when my sister came, we went together and I bought a couple of things. At one of my one of my favorite boutiques, I bought a few items for Christmas. She and I, well, she only bought one. I bought four. I guess I was trying to celebrate myself for doing the best that I could, during Thanksgiving. It's important. Celebrate yourself. Carve out moments for yourself. Don't feel guilty about needing some time for yourself away from your loved one. This is so important. Don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty about spending time away. If you can get away for an hour, if you can get away for a half a day, if you can get away for a whole day or a weekend before Christmas comes, somebody will come, you can get one of your family members to come and, or you can take them where they are and just have a weekend before the big day. Don't beat yourself up. You're not a bad child. You're not a bad daughter. You're not a bad wife. You're not a bad anything. Just take care of yourself. Get family members to help out with their care while you enjoy a relaxing bath or a much needed nap. Get your family members, friends, some friends from the church that you are more friendlier, we're more friendlier with some than others, all right, because they have taken an interest in you, or they've taken an interest in your loved one. Get help wherever you can get help, because you got to listen, if you don't take care of you, who gonna take care of you? And if you're the one that everybody's looking to take care of your loved one, and you have to go into the hospital, if your high blood pressure or your cholesterol gets out of whack, if you fall while you're picking up your mother, or you fall, or your father, or your sister, or your brother, if you fall while you're picking up the wheelchair, or assisting them with bags of groceries or whatever, who is going to take care of you? I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. And I'm not bashing, I'm just telling us. I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to myself and others that are in the caregiving situation. You got to take care of yourself, and you can't allow anybody to make you feel guilty, that you need some time off. That's why there's respite, okay? That's why there are other organizations, and I'm going to put some in the comments here, because I had to research. I had first, one of the things I had to do was get a medical alert for my mom. I had to get her a medical alert because I couldn't be with her all the time. She does not live with me. She lives in Wake Forest, but she doesn't live with me. She lives with my brother. Okay. So I had to get a medical alert, and he has to work. He travels. He's got to work. His wife got to work. We are a team, and we are trying to work this out. We're doing the best that we can. We are a team, and there's just three of us. And at times she goes to South Carolina to be with my sister. All right. There are times when my brother takes her on vacation. She was in 10 days in California. Not everybody has a family, a son particularly, that takes his mama on vacation. But that's how we roll. That's how we roll here. But it takes my sister, it takes my brother, and it took, getting the medical alert so that she would have a way to contact, somebody if case out was not there. They have a good neighbor named I can't think of her name, Joanne, I think it's Suzanne. Suzanne is next door to her. Something happens, she knows how to call Suzanne. Suzanne will come. She knows how to get in. She'll come until I can get there. But I also had to contact an organization here in North Carolina called Seniors Helping Seniors. Seniors Helping Seniors. So when I cannot be there, if I'm under stress, or I have clients, or I have work to do, we can set up Seniors Helping Seniors. There's somebody that's assigned to her now. They come and spend so many hours on a particular day. I told my brother next week we need a little more help. All right. So we have to put things in effect so that we can do what we do, so we don't burn out, so he don't burn out. He'll be 60 years old. He might not, that's my baby brother. He might not consider himself a senior, but December the 10th, he'll be 60. He ain't no little baby. And so I tell him too, you got to take care of yourself. All right. You got to take care of yourself. My sister and I are just a year apart. She turned 70 this year, and I'm 71. That's what I'm saying. We are blessed to have a parent that is 92 and still in the land of the living. But the ones that are helping to take care of her, we ain't no spring chicken. We ain't no chippies. Okay. So we have to take care of ourselves as well. And ain't nobody going to make Lydia Ford feel guilty. All right. Nobody going to make me feel guilty. And nobody should be making you feel guilty for asking for help. So Seniors Helping Seniors was the agency, and there were others that I called too. But I needed help. And we need help, especially during the holidays, okay? Especially during the holidays. So I'm going to put in the comments some agencies. There are agencies that we have down in North Carolina, that back in Connecticut or New York or California, wherever you are, you may not have them. And my international friends, I'm talking to you all in Kenya, in Sierra Leone, in Jamaica, wherever you are. You all may not have these agencies and all the help that we have over here. But guess what? If you're part of a local church, if you're part of a community, you have to seek out those who are able to partner with you, all right, to assist you. Talking to my friend Helen over there that is a widower herself, but she's leading a group of 400 widowers. And she had the wisdom to say, I can't, like Moses complained to the Lord, I can't lead all these people. I'm drowning here. They act like I'm their mama. I ain't their mama. But he asked the Lord, I need some help with these folks. And the Lord said, go find 70 people. I'm going to put your spirit on them and they're going to help you. Divide them up into groups of 50, 100, or whether into tribes. Moses was going to burn out with them complaining people. He needed help. And some of them was, well, no, it doesn't say that they were sick, because it said they sure enough weren't sick. They weren't sick. Their shoes didn't wear out. Their clothes didn't wear out, but they were a pain in the butt. They complain all the time. And it was that complaining. Don't even let me get started on that. It was the complaining that drove him crazy. And sometimes we have family members that, because they have experienced the loss of their mind, some of them, they have experienced the loss of their members, their physical members, their bodies. They can't do with their bodies what they used to do. They can't drive. They can't think as fast. All right. And that's a loss. And many times we don't talk about the loss that the elderly experience. They're frustrated. In their mind, they can still do what they used to do at 50, at 60 and 70. But physically, emotionally, mentally, they can't do it. And so they think about the days that they can. And then when they have people like us sometimes frustrated and not as patient, say, oh, no, you can't do this. What do you mean? What do you mean I can't do this? What do you mean? And so they get frustrated. And we have to understand that as well. They're frustrated. We're frustrated. But we have to. We're in covenant. We're in covenant with our family, those that we love. We're in covenant with them. So we have to. That's why it's important for self-care. So we can back off when we need. When we feel like, woo, Jesus, I'm about to drown. Oh, I'm about to, lose it. We have to remember to take care of ourselves. We got to reach out and find assistance, other people that we can call. All right. I'm talking to you over there, Kenya. You have a community. You have people in y'all have to get together and y'all have to give one another breaks as best as you can. All right. As best as you can. All right. I'm done. I am done. I hope that I have given y'all some information that's helpful. I said I was going to, during these days, weeks leading up to Christmas, I wanted to make sure that I help us, those of us that have loved ones that, have passed on recently, or, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever, 2 years ago. I want to be able to help you with some strategies and some practical tips on how to make it and get through the holiday. I want to talk about children, how to help them overcome the anxieties and living in this crazy world, maybe losing a sibling, losing a parent, a grandparent, and this is their first holiday without their mom or without their grandparent, without a sibling, without a friend, without their dog or their cat. This stuff is real. All right. And it's important that we talk about these kinds of things, and not just in a forum like this, but even in the church. In the church, we need to take time out to talk about people's loss, to teach people how to lament, to mourn. Because as I said last week, there's good grief and there's not so good grief. And God is looking at us, and he wants us to choose the best way, the God kind of way, to lament, to grieve. All right. And we don't grieve as if we have no hope, but there are so many millions of people that grieve as if there is no hope. And we know that our hope is in our Creator. And he has gifted many of us healthcare providers to be of assistance to those who need that hope, who need care, who need strategies, who need tips on how to make it through difficult times and seasons. God is our helper, but He gives helpers. He gives helpers. He spreads a big tent. All right. And in that tent, there are people with gifts and callings and expertise in the secular and in Christendom, in the church. All right. But we have to avail ourselves to them. We have to be willing to ask for help. Sometimes you might not think you need help. That's why we have best friends. Oh, Jesus, I'm so grateful that when you have a best friend, they're going to tell you you're jacked up, you're messed up, tore up from the floor up. And before you lose a good friend, you need to go get some help. Friends will stick with you when you in the White House or in the outhouse. They're gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. They're not gonna sugarcoat it. A good friend is not gonna sugarcoat it. And they will tell you in love, but they mean what they say. Get you some help, because I'm about to knock you out. I'm about to knock you out if you don't go get you some help. So thank God. I thank God for the blood of Jesus, but I thank God that He is giving gifts to the body. He's given gifts to the church. He's given gifts to the world. And the greatest one was His only Son that He sent into this world to be sin, who didn't know sin, but He sent Him, Jesus, to be sin so that we could be the righteous, so we could have reestablished our relationship with Him, so that He would be our high priest. We would know that we can go to Him. Yeah, we can go to Him when we can't go to anybody else. And guess what? He gonna send you to me. He gonna send you to Dr. Noreen Davis. He gonna send you to Connie. He gonna send you to He's gonna send you to Minister Shield. He gonna send you to the exact person that's going to be able to help you in the nick of time, help you wherever you are in your grief, wherever you are in your caregiving assignment. He's going to help you because He loves us. He loves us. And you just have to have discernment, because there might be a whole, several people vying for your attention, vying for your help, your, service, but you have to use discernment. Holy Spirit never makes a mistake. Never makes a mistake. He will never lead you wrong. He always leads you into truth. He is your GPS. And as my coach says, evangelist Beverly Vaughn, evangelist is another, that's in her, another, but I'm talking about Coach Vaughn. Well, no, I'm actually talking about evangelist right now. Always says Holy Spirit is her advantage. Well, He's her advantage as evangelist, and He definitely is her advantage as Coach Vaughn as well. And I have picked up that mantra. Holy Spirit is my advantage, whether I am Pastor Ford, whether I'm Lydia Ford, a grief counselor, whether I'm, Lydia Ford, somebody's BFF. He's still in every fact, as a caregiver to my mom, He is my advantage, and He provides for me. He provides assistance for me. And I am smart enough now to reach out, and get the help that I need when I need it. Like I said, I came down here to help and be a caregiver. And then I realized that things had shifted. Things had shifted, and we needed more help than what I could provide. I said, oh no, I need more help. I know my sister's over there next door state. I know my brother's in and out, and then there's me here. But we needed even more help than that. So then I had to find out some more help. Listen, God loves you. He doesn't want you to wear yourself out, burn yourself out to the point where you become bitter. Hello. You become bitter and mean as a caregiver because you're tired. You don't know what to do. You're at your wits' end. That is not of God. That is not of God. I think it's in First Peter. I can't remember the chapter and the verse. He gives us everything that pertains to godliness, living a godly life, in our living practical stuff that we need everyday living, godliness, and everything that pertains to our living. All we have to do is ask, seek, and knock, and get up off of our do nothing, and do it, and not be afraid, and not feel guilty for asking. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty when you're strung out there and you're tired and you don't even want to do what you know you have to do. Crying and snotting ain't gonna do it. You need strength and you need help, and you need to take care of yourself. All right. So today um, we talked about how it is necessary to ask for help as a caregiver. Myself, I'm a caregiver. I need to ask for help during the holiday season because I can be worn out. Like I said, I had to simplify. I thought I was simplifying this year's Thanksgiving celebration. It was just three of us, but even with the three of us, I still was tired at the end of it. So traditions have to be more simplified for patients, our elderly who have dementia and Alzheimer's. We have to be cognizant of what they can tolerate. And I'm not going to go back over that because I've already talked about it. If you're getting on right now, go back and see the things that we need to put in place for our elderly loved ones that have Alzheimer's and dementia. During the holidays, there's certain things that we can run with. There's certain things that they can't abide, that they cannot tolerate. So we have to be very careful. And we may have to pull in some extra help to help us get through, navigate between now and Christmas. Thanksgiving is in the rearview mirror, but Christmas is yet ahead. So we want them to enjoy as much Christmas as they can, but it just might not be the way that they are used to, because there's differences in how these diseases progress. The Christmas you had last year with them may have to be a little more curtailed than the Christmas that you had. This Christmas have to be a little curtailed over the Christmas that you may have had with them last year. All right. This is Lydia Ford. My grief business is called Grace to Win. You can find me. I'm scrolling at the bottom of your page of StreamYard page, and I'm going to put those in the comments. If those agencies, and you can always Google. There's a great I don't know if it's an app now, but it's along with Microsoft, and it's called Bing, Bing. AI is like bam. AI is big now. So on my Microsoft on my phone and on my laptop, I have Bing, so I can research, I can ask questions, and Bing just like Google, okay, turns it out. But I will put these resources in the comments. It's called Care in Homes and care.com. The one I used here was called Seniors Helping Seniors, but you can just Google caregiving. You can just Google or you can use Bing to find information on how to find help for caregivers, or how to find help for those that you are caring for in their home or in your home. Okay. But the few that I found here, I'm going to put it in the comments. Okay. All righty. If you or anyone else needs grief care, because I help people who are stuck in grief to get unstuck, because I don't want you to stay stuck, and neither does the Lord. You can contact me. You can DM me right here on my Facebook page, or you can send me an email to my email address, lydiaford52 at gmail.com. I would be delighted to talk to you. If it's not you, recommend someone. There are on the website. There's a 30-minute consultation that we can have. It's free 30-minute consultation. There are different packages because some people need more grief counseling, some need less. I work with my patients. Those that are my patients know that I work with them. And if I can't help you, then I can refer you to someone else in that area that can certainly accommodate you and help you as well. All right, I'm done today. I was looking at my well, no, I won't say that. But anyway, today is Wednesday already, right? So I will be back again next week, Monday and Wednesday, and up through Christmas season, Christmas holiday. I want to come back and give you some more tips, some more strategies. And the subject might be different, but they're always to help you to navigate, to move judiciously through the holiday season in terms of loss, in terms of caregiving, in terms of trying to get you to take care of yourself during these stressful times. I want to talk about childhood grief, how children handle grief, especially during the holidays. We talked about patients and elderly with dementia and Alzheimer's. There are tips and tools and strategies for how to help them. I just gave you some information about that. There's so many types of losses that are under the radar because we just focus on loved ones, the death of our loved ones. But there are people they've had miscarriages. There are women that have stillborn births and they had pull-in. They had the nursery all set up and they come home without a baby. That's traumatic. There's terrorism. There's shootings. There's all kind of many types of loss that I want to kind of address some of that. I can't tell it all, but my job is to try to comfort people. And that's what I want to do. All right. So God bless you all. If you were late coming on, go back. I'm on my personal page. I'm on my business page. And I'm on YouTube. And if you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe to Lydia Ford International Ministries on YouTube, and you can see any of these broadcasts because now I'm on StreamYard. You can go back and look at the ones that you may have missed. Okay. All right, y'all. This has been Lydia Ford. This is Early Morning Tea. You're not a member of Early Morning Tea? You're not a part of the group yet? You're not a part of BFF, Building Fruitful Friendships? Oh my goodness. All you have to do is in that little circle, that little question bar at the top of your phone or on your laptop, you can just type in Early Morning Tea and ask to be invited into the group. Same thing for Building Fruitful Friendships. I think we got 200 or so friends, group members on Building Fruitful Friendships. But again, in the little question mark at the top, the search bar, I call it a question mark, little search bar, just type in Building Fruitful Friendships and you can join that group. BFF, I call it for short, and Early Morning Tea. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. Talk to y'all soon. Bye. I don't know about y'all. It's like 24 degrees here in Raleigh. What is it in Connecticut? It's 24 today, Connie. It's cold here. I moved here to get out the cold, and it's freezing here today. But whatever. It'll warm up. It'll be 60 by the weekend. What about y'all, Connecticut? Oh, let me stop digging. Bye. I'm going to stop.